Have you ever really watched Scooby Doo? Really watched it? If you have, then you've probably been confused as I have been. Usually a standard Scooby Doo episode starts off with the gang driving somewhere, and a monster appears, and throughout, not usually where anyone could see it. Instead, it lurks in the shadows, growling and hissing, and generally acting monsterific. This is the first stumbling block I have come to logic in the Scooby Doo universe. Why exactly would anyone do this? Oh, sure, if anyone weren't actually monsters, it would make sense, but these aren't monsters. These are people in monster costumes. Yet here they are, prowling around in the dark, acting like monsters, like if no one was around to see them. Certainly, it's possible that one or two method actors could be really into the role, but that just can't be true for all of them. Speaking of staying in character, the monsters, or rather people in costumes, rarely, if I ever break a character, the mystery gang never stumbles upon the monster acting remotely like the person. Underneath the mask, even when Shaggy or Scooby-Doo pull their let's pretend we're barbers for shenanigan thing, the monster just goes along with it and acts it for a second before realizing, hey, I'm supposed to be a monster. Even when the monster is being tricked, he doesn't act like a human. Perhaps the biggest mystery to Scooby-Doo is Scooby himself. Why does the dog talk? Nobody really remarks on this on the show, but clearly talking dogs are a rarity. As far as I could tell, the only talking dogs in Scooby methods are Scooby Clan themselves. But one can't help but wonder why. Why do the mystery gang keep running across monsters in fact at the same place? Well, surely this couldn't be done as mere coincidence. But if it was a fate itself that is drawing our interperiod gang of teens into strange adventures, indeed it is, we shall soon see. The secrets of Scooby-Doo began long before the show starts, perhaps even long before the Scooby-Doo clan was even born. My theory is that at some point in the past, the person who performed the spell brought back dark magic to Earth. This magic manifested from the form that cursed into monster costumes. That's right, cursed monster costumes. It's a sensible explanation. How else are you supposed to explain the costumes that are so realistic that they can simulate even anything, ranging from the evil bug from the future to a 10,000 volt ghost or a tar monster? Think about this for a moment. How can you make someone make a wetsuit and a car battery and make themselves an electric monster? Or a tar beast? It's not possible, at least without some magic on your side. These costumes were spread around the earth by sinister forces. Every so often, a person in questionable moral fiber discovers them. The costumes were using their powers as chimeras to these invulnerable souls. If the soul is invulnerable enough, the idea of running around in a monster costume to frighten people makes the story perfect sense. Compelled by the dark forces and the person puts on the costume, it actually becomes the monster. This is why they never break character, why they enjoy lurking around the darkened woods, and why they can manifest surprises powers such as super strength. It's magic that makes it happen. Over time, the costume becomes more and more controlling, and eventual goal is to transform the person into a costume by a unique monster. Often by the time the Scooby and the gang are involved, this is dangerously close to happening. This is why, even when caught, the monsters will rarely admit their defeat. It's only after their mask has been removed and their humanity exposed that the spell is broken and they become human once again. Here is the real twist. What does any of this have to do with Scooby-Doo, you may ask? The entire Scooby-Doo family is cursed. I don't know why. I don't know if they had anything to do with magic that is unleashed through the powers of the costumes, or if they just happened to make somewhat powerful enemies. Either way, they were cursed into these searching for the world for these monsters. This is an event with the sliding scale of humanity exhibited by the Doo family. As for Shaggy, Velma, Fred, and Daphne, I haven't quite figured out their place in battle. Perhaps they're merely along for the ride, thrill seekers, or maybe just generally good people out to stop the forces of darkness. Or perhaps there's more sinister purpose at work. Truly terrifying a secret, we do not dare explore the stage. I'm looking at you, Fred and Daphne. But that is for another time. And that, my little pretties, was the dark secret of Scooby Doo. a Scooby-Doo Theory Pasta written by A. Lee Martinez. My final thoughts on the story? I'm gonna have to say this is actually a really amazing and well-made creepypasta. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this creepypasta was actually a pretty well-made one. Like, it's a pretty good theory and a pretty good dark secret behind Scooby-Doo. Seeing that, basically, this is basically about, how the monsters are, in costumes. If you kind of remember, if you watched Scooby-Doo as a kid, you probably know that, and almost, how the episode starts off, and then, at the end of each Scooby-Doo episode, it turns out to be, basically somebody who happens to be, I guess you could say, wearing a costume. And about the magic thing that was involved in this, I could honestly see this maybe being the case of this Fury of Scooby-Doo. Now, I did change the title to, the Scooby-Doo Fury, because I think it's more appropriate. But, not only that it's more appropriate, but I think it makes more sense to me. At least to me, that is. Now, I heard this Fury Pasta by, Creepspit Pasta, and that was maybe 7 years ago. Maybe 6 years ago when I stumbled upon this story. And I really enjoyed this pasta. Like, I really enjoy how this pasta went out. It's a pretty good pasta for, Scooby-Doo. Like, I watched Scooby-Doo a lot when I was a kid. I believe, Mr. Gruesome also did this story. I'm not really too sure. But I could be wrong on that one. But I also would have to say that, a few people have also narrated this story. Like, I've seen a couple people, who have narrated this one. One of them being Elsa's boyfriend. And, that creepy reading. That creepy reading, actually found out who the original author of the story is A. Lee Martinez. So, I don't know why that video got deleted off the Creepypasta Wiki. Because for some reason, I couldn't seem to find it. And it somehow, it got, I think for some reason, I really don't know why. But it got deleted from the Creepypasta Wiki, which it kind of makes me, disappointed because, it got deleted from the Creepypasta Wiki. I was, very disappointed when I heard about that. Like, I don't know why it got deleted from the Creepypasta Wiki. Like, I honestly don't know why it got deleted from that because I tried to look into it, but, to try to see if I could find it. But it says, that the page has been deleted from the regular Creepypasta Wiki. So that kind of sucks. I have a feeling that, it must have got deleted. Like, I don't know why it did get deleted. Like, why would anyone delete this? This is such a good story. Like, I really like it a lot. And it has a pretty good concept and really good for what this story is. It actually had a pretty good, it's a really good story. I really would have to say, I found this on an archived, someone archived the story, probably on Wattpad. That's actually where I'm looking it up. So, what I exactly really liked about this, the believability of this Fury is one. It's not focused on coma or anything like that. Not like most Fury pastas do focus on that, but some Fury pastas really focus on, the other stuff that is involved. I really do like the believability of this. I like, the concept of, how it all went out. Now, basically, about how Scooby can talk, that's actually a pretty good Fury. I've always wondered how Scooby-Doo is like the dog who can talk. Like, I've always wondered about that ever since I was a kid. So this Fury really explains it. But yet again, I could say that the grammar is pretty well done. Like, the grammar is pretty well done, and it's very well made in detail. Sorry about that. I just had a hiccup. But I really do like how it went out. It's a really well-made story. I really do have to say, it's a pretty good pasta for what this is. I really found this Fury to be, accurate. Like, maybe there were some things that were not really accurate, but yet again, it's a Fury pasta, so I can't really judge that because I'm not the narrator, I am the narrator of this story, the one who narrated this, but I'm not the writer of this story. So only the writer of this story could probably tell me, more information. If he or she were to comment on the video, I'm sure he or she could explain, their point of view about it. Like, I would like to see, their point of view. But anyways, I guess, the sentence structure was pretty good as well. Same with the paragraph structuring. I really do like the believability of this, and this is actually a pretty interesting theory. So I would have to agree with this somewhat. But yet again, I'm not really too sure about more about the theory of Scooby-Doo. Like, I think I kind of have a theory as to why the monsters are, people in costumes. So basically, I think the monsters were actually real people, but they died in some ways, or they became cursed or something. Which that's a pretty interesting theory from what I'm come up with, or that I'm coming up with. I apologize if I made no sense, but it's actually pretty interesting to say the least. Like, I remember watching Scooby Doo as a kid, and that's always made me wonder every time I watch an episode of Scooby Doo is why are these people, in monster costumes? Are they like cursed or something? Like, that's always what I want to know. But yet again, we're not really too sure because only the author of the story can, explain it. If the author does happen to come across this video, he or she, maybe they can explain more about this in the comment section because I would like to hear the author's thoughts. So, I guess with that being the case, that being said, I don't see anything that I did not like about this story. I think the one issue I would have to say, it's not a major one per se, but I think I should point it out, is that some of them may not be accurate. Like, some of the information that was in it, like, not a whole chunk, but just some bits of the information may not be as accurate. But yet again, maybe the author could, explain him or herself in the comments below, because, I would really like to know. But I guess with that being the case, and that being said, I'm going to sit there and wrap up the review. There's not really much to say, but I could definitely say something. Now, I'm going to sit here and say this right now, and like I always continue to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be I'm going to get this one 10 out of 10. It's a great theory pasta of Scooby-Doo. It's really well made. I really do appreciate this being a good, explainable theory pasta. There's definitely a lot of time and effort into it, and I really do like how the believability it had with this story. I really do enjoy that. But I guess with that being the case, I really do find the grammar to be well done in detail, like I said before. I like it how it all went out, and it's believable too. So I guess with that being the case, and with that being said, what did you guys think about this creepypasta? Or theory pasta, whatever you prefer to call it. Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to leave me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you happen to be brand new here on this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.